G'day world, and welcome back to Stuff We Do, where we do all the knife stuff you love. Knife reviews, knife tests, knife modifications, and outdoor stuff with knives. Today we are going to dye this CJRB Bellona. I think that's the name. If it's not, it will pop up on screen. Anyway, we're gonna dye this thing. I want to make it cool. I want to give it the lanyard. I want to make this something awesome. Okay. I'm using this granular style of dyes. Pause and read, and then later on you can decide which one is working, because I couldn't find the synthetic ones I normally use. This one is for dyeing nylon, silk, natural wool, and this one is for acrylic materials. They said like buttons, so we'll see which one works. Green, black. Okay. I used half the black, I used a quarter of the green, so we'll see how that works. But before that, it's history time. Yesterday was Christmas Eve. We had we normally do our big thing on the day before Christmas. So this morning the kids got presents and it was nice and everything. But now I'm making food. That's lovely also. But anyway, I want to show this thing. My father gave this to me last night with the weirdest knife ever. We'll do the weirdest knife in a different video. But this thing, the Slattery and Sons Potgietersrus, Transvaal, South Africa, PO Box 121, phone 119. Yeah, you can see it was long ago when the phone number was 119. Anyway, machine number and then the serial number for the machine. Okay, so this came from, it's the thing that takes peanuts off the plants. Anyway, my grandfather worked at PMP. He used to make bullets. Okay, anyway, the 303. Yeah, anyway, that was him. Never mind, let's get away from that. He had farms. Well, he had a farm while my parents were growing up. Then when my father was like in high school, they lived here where I live today in Montana. But back then it was still plots and farms. Okay, so the area between Dr. van der Merwe and Dr. What's the other one? Dr. van der Merwe and Dr. Swanepoel. Anyway, that whole area, they planted peanuts. Also, where the old driving used to be, above Zambezi Road, used to be part of their farm, okay? And they planted peanuts. My grandfather, even in the later years, when we were living on a plot at Grootvlei, my grandfather bought himself 8.5 hectares of land, and he planted peanuts. So while I was growing up, my grandfather was also still planting peanuts. So peanuts was his thing. Anyway, this came from one of those sorting machines that you would throw in the plants. When you grow peanuts, you plant the thing, it grows. Then once it has grown, because peanuts grow on the roots, not on the leaves, you have a thing with... I'm going to show you like this. If you don't know what I'm saying, Google it. Anyway, it looks like this. It goes under the plant and it digs through the ground. Okay, so it gets it out of the sand, okay, without hurting the peanuts. Then you take those things and you pack it into bundles. You put the core and then you put it around it with the leaves at the top. So if it rains, the peanuts don't get wet. You get what I'm saying. Anyway, then they stand there for a while and they dry. Then you get guys with like pitchforks, gaffels. Anyway, these pitchforks, and they walk and they throw it onto the slattery. I don't know, we called it a slattery, or you slatter them. I don't know if that's a technical term. Anyway, you chuck them in there, and then your peanuts get sorted and deshelled into big, medium, and the little rimpled ones. Okay. So that's a slattery. Now my father gave me this thing that came from one of his father's old machines. Now granddad died when I was 9. I'm turning 47 now, so it's been a while. And this was awesome. When he gave this to me last night, I was extremely happy about it. So I'm not sure where I'm going to put it up, but it's going to be somewhere that has a special place for me. Okay, history aside, let's dye something. Okay, we're dyeing this thing. like I said, I have the green in here. I have the black inside the purple bucket. Let's pour in some hot water. Now I boiled water in my beautiful yellow and green thing I showed you yesterday, my little kettle. Now let's make this one more like that, because I want this to be like a faded dye job. Well, that's the plan. I'm not sure how this will turn out, but I want my knife to be green, kind of dyed, with the tan in the middle and black at the edge. Oh, you can't see. I want it to be tan in the middle, green on the sides, and then black. But I want it to be a faded look. So I'm not sure if it will work, but we will see. So first thing, into the green. Okay, I'm using it to stir also, because that's just how cool I am. If this stuff works at all, because like I said, I'm not sure if the nylon wool acrylic things will actually work. There's like this line over there. What is that? Oh, that's dirt. Oh, I didn't wash the cups, of course. Let's see if something happens. I can see a slight change, but it might just be from the heat. I can't see anything that side. Let's start stirring this one so long and see if the black will at least dye the ends. If you watch my dye videos, it's very hit and miss. I am quite bad at actually doing these types of things. Mostly because I don't plan and I go for the cheapest stuff ever. You can get red dye here in South Africa, but you'll have to look for it and you'll have to go find it, whatnot. And that is not necessarily my forte when it comes to things. Okay, so we can see something is happening there. Okay, now that doesn't look like a blend job anymore. Not really a blend job, is it? Okay, but we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing this, and I'm gonna turn it around now in a little bit. Just make it stand like that for a second. Anyway, I'm gonna turn it around now, and I'll bring you back when I'm doing that. Okay, so the green doesn't work. So go back, check what the green is. It doesn't work for this, but excuse me, if I can remember correctly, it did work for bone. Check the dyeing bone videos I did. Anyway, so now this is going to be like, oh, and I never cleaned this thing, so there were still like residual purple in here. So it might not be green and black anymore. It might be purple and black. But anyway, now I'm leaving it for a bit. So the fading thing that sucked is faded all over, and then I'm trying to make faux bolsters with the dye. Yeah, let's see how that works. Okay, so this is what this looks like now. I tried to do these whole faded things with the faux bolsters at the top, and it's not really tan anymore, but I think it looks cooler than it did. Okay, so very nice. Now, let me just get to this quickly. Okay, so once you have done something like this to a knife without taking it apart, you need to make sure there's no moisture inside and that it's well lubricated. Singer oil. I love this stuff. It's mineral oil with added heat resistance. You know, if you flick it 5,000 times a second and it heats up. Anyway, that works. Or this stuff I find to be fantastic. It's the gun oil. Okay, Q gun. And it's also nice because it's pressurized, so you can spray out any kind of dirt and things that sits in there. And it's not like those normal Q20s and things that will actually gunk up your stuff in time. So the gun all works nice. Now, the big question is, what are we going to use for a lanyard? Are we going to use the tan? Are we going to use the dark? And which of these lanyard beads are we going to be using? We're not going to be using my awesome Warblade bead, and not this one. That's for the awesome knife. So we're going to choose one of these to put on here. Okay, so I have decided on this lanyard and the Scully bead. Check the videos, the previous videos about the places where I bought these stuff from. Yes, because I'm sure this will get nice and old quickly. Or at least dirty, and then it will look dirtier. Okay, one loop's enough to keep it in place. Put in another loop. Okay, we have our little skull. Do you see that? With this thing, as I said, I'm sure it's going to change in a bit. And then this knife that I haven't shown you yet, but I really want to use it just to trim off the edges. And look at that. A wonderful little skull lanyard on my awesome CJRB Bellona. You see? Do you see? Not the best eye job, but I think overall it makes me happy. All of you, stay safe, happy, have a good one. Goodbye.